Hello, once again. By the time you see this, it will be tomorrow, so I better say good morning. Hello, and how are you? I hope you have a wonderful day today, that your blood sugar don't get too high and you're not too irritated. As you can see, I'm disguising my eyes because I am, after all, a gangster. Not a gangster wannabe, I'm a real gangster. Because you don't know my real story in the United States of America. For a portion of my youth, I was a gangster, and I made it this far. The only regret I have is I got rid of all the unregistered guns that I had during the period of my gangsterism. I wish I had kept them. There's a lot I could do with them now. I wanted to show you the fruit cake, the rum cake that I'm eating. You see, even my cake is made by a doctor. This cake is made by Dr. Elwin. You see, I don't just eat cake from anybody. No illiterate can make cake for me. You have to be a doctor. And Dr. Elwin makes the best cake. And this is the most expensive cake I've had for this holiday season. She mailed it to me in one address, and I was not there. So I had to have it remailed to me at the address where I am, so I can get it. And she sent two cakes, one for my birthday and one for Christmas. And there's only one little piece of cake left. And you know, if my medical condition, I'm not supposed to eat this cake. But every day I eat a little piece until it finishes. And I must tell you, Dr. Cake is good cake. And Dr. Elwin makes the best cake. And wherever you are, if you are in St. Lucia, in Grenada, in Dominica, and even in Trinidad and Tobago, even in Guyana, you can order a cake from Dr. Elwin. But my message today is not about the cake of Dr. Elwin. I don't want you to see my teeth contaminated. I want you to see it nice and pretty. You see how it is? Nice and pretty. So I'm going to put the rest of the cake aside until we finish the message. Because I come to give a message this afternoon. And this message again is dedicated to Mrs. Etienne, to Mrs. Theobalds, to the justices of the appellate court, to the Attorney General. If it's still Levi Peter, I don't know. I don't keep tracks of these things because these things are not important to me. What is important to me is what is going on right here in my local vicinity, in my HOA, and in my municipality, because all politics is local. And I'm not living where you are. The only issue we have is the issue that is before your judiciary, that you are trying to corner me. You are trying to trick me. You are trying to bamboozle me, and Miss Dupin is trying to pull a veil over your eye, which she succeeded in doing already. And for 13 years, this master of deception have been able to mislead the court. And today I, Peter Emmanuel, come and say enough is enough. Now listen, I wrote you 3 emails. I say, what happened on the 13th? Why don't we have a report? Why don't we have a report? Why don't we have a report? Why don't we have the orders that came out of that hearing? It should not take more than 48 hours for you to publish that information. And I ask you politely and respectfully, as I always do, because I never raise my voice, because I speak softly and carry a big stick. You see those Dracula teeth? That's to suck your blood. I'm not a blood-sucking vampire like Madame Dracula. You know, Madame Dracula was Dame Eugenia Charles. Patrick John used to call her in the House of Assembly, Mr. Speaker, Madame Dracula is 59 years old. Patrick didn't know no better. Patrick didn't understand that power comes with age. And he was a young upstart. And he disrespected Eugenia. And Eugenia, who is, she's a lesbian. You all know she was a lesbian. And she eventually exacted her revenge against Patrick and she imprisoned him. And a whole bunch of other lesbians on Dominica, they don't fool me. I knew them from a little boy because I'm a seer. I can tell who is who and who is what. I can tell the sodomites, which are the male homosexuals, and the lesbians, one from another, as well as a couple of these attorneys who are going to see this message. I have nothing against you all, because I am the first homosexual. Let me tell you this. Moi se o makume ozav. Moi se o makume. What I am writing and speaking to tell you today is that I should not have to beg you to publish the orders and the directives of the judge from a hearing. I shouldn't have to beg you. And if I send you a reminder email and say, hey, Mrs. Etienne, hey, Mr. Peters, what happened? It's been a week. It's going on 2 weeks. What happened? You should respond to me. You should say, hey, Dr. Lander. Because that's what I am. I'm a doctor. I'm a voodoo master. I'm a witch doctor. I'm a witch doctor. And you don't want to mess with the Obia man. Never mess with the Obia man. In Jamaica, they don't mess with the Obia man. In Guyana, they don't mess with the Obia man. In Trinidad, they don't mess with the Obia man. You people in Dominica need to come to understand you do not mess with the Obia man. You do not mess with the voodoo master. When you see people dying around you, people who are entangled in conflict with the voodoo master, with the witch doctor, are suddenly falling, dying. They're having stomach cancer, they're having spleen cancer, they're having prostate cancer, they're having any type of cancer. The only thing that's remaining is for ovarian cancer and for the spleen cancer to hit some of the female people that are standing as obstacles to the objectives of the voodoo master. I make no apologies. I have never apologized for anything I said, and I will never apologize, because this is a war and a Luta Continua. And the slogan is resistance, fight until victory. I shouldn't have to fight. I shouldn't have to beg you. I shouldn't have to publish 3 videos to tell you that because you cannot answer my email, then I will make a video for you and I'll put it on YouTube and I'll send it to you and to all of your colleagues and to all of your friends, and maybe then you'll answer me. So I want to say thank you, Mr. Peters. Thank you for sending me the order of 254 of 2015. And thank you for sending me the order of 141 of 2011 and 297 of 2011. I haven't looked at them yet, but when I saw the email, I said, look at that. Look at that. Pressure works. People respond to the word of force. No one respects the weak. No one. No one. People don't have no goddamn regard for weak people. People do not listen to you. If you come to them with your hat in your hand begging. And that is it. That is it. And it is a damn right disrespectful. It is disrespectful, and it is a disgrace that I have to go and take the time of my day. I have a docket. Let me show you my goddamn docket. This is my docket. Okay, this is my docket. This is my docket. You see? This is my docket. It have cases, 7 cases in the United States and 9 cases on the island of Dominica. We're just getting started. We're just getting started because in 2023 we settle all family business. And you want to tell me that your job as the acting registrar, your job as the chief registrar of the OECS, and your direct reports, and your job as a case manager, you don't know that in 48 to 72 hours, you're supposed to send out the results. Maybe you need an assistant, Mr. Peters. And I can understand that. I'm not beating up on you, because you cannot handle all those cases by yourself. And granted, you're going to give priority to the attorneys because they are more uppity. They have more class than little Peter Lander. Peter Lander is a nobody. He's a pro se. So we put him last. The same way you put me last on the docket. But don't worry, the last shall be first. And the stone that the builder refuses shall be the head cornerstone. So when you put me last, and on the last docket you put me last, you put caveats in the bottom, and you were not used to doing that, and you combine 257, 254 of 2015 with 141, and when my lady asked the young lady to read the case, she was tongue-tied. Who told you to do that, or who did that in your absence? You must keep control of your function, Mr. Peters, and don't let anybody undermine you, because they are going to put you in problems and in conflict with powers that you cannot handle. And the power of the voodoo, the power of the Obia man, no one can overcome it. No one. Not you, not Mrs. Etienne, not Mrs. John-Theobalds, not Levi Peter. And as a matter of fact, I have information which I will not disclose, but I know about everybody. And I know about their health conditions. Right where I'm sitting in my bed in the United States of America in Sugar Land, Texas. So what I want to tell you is, please, I shouldn't have to beg you. I shouldn't have to write more than one email to you. When you see my email, Mrs. Etienne, you need to acknowledge it. Don't wait for me to publish some message to you. And worst of all, I have ordered ravens. They're coming from England. They're coming from Canada. And I'm going to send you all a message by raven to prove to you the power of the voodoo and the power of how we can put a spell on you without ever leaving our bed. So the ravens are coming. And the ravens are coming to prove a point. You see, Bin Laden at some point, if he was smart, he would have communicated by raven. He would have communicated by pigeon, but he wanted to use mobile phone, so they got him. But you see us, they know where we are. They can come and get us anytime they want, but they won't do that because they know the power that we have. They know the power that I have. And on the occasion of my martyrdom, it's not going to be like the killing of any other Negro in the United States of America. It will be. There will be revenge. We will exact revenge. It is written in the will that you must go and kill some people if your father is killed in a suspicious circumstance. It is that you must take the insurance money and pay the people in Chicago and the people in New York, the Jewish mafia and the Chicago mafia, which is the Italian mafia. And then we also enrolled some people from Mexico. I cannot always remember the city, but it's the same city that El Chapo came from. We have people there. And when you give them a contract, they always fulfill it. And we have a contract with them. If anything happens to me, whether I'm in Dominica or anywhere in the world, they have to go and exact revenge. So I want to thank, I shouldn't have to thank you. It's your job to send these documents out and to do so in a timely manner. And I shouldn't have to ask you. And I asked you once, I asked you twice, and then I had to, can you do a video? Can you do a video? Do you have what it takes? Do you have the good looks and the charms and the linguistic ability, what they call it, the lyrics, to do a video? Do you have the self-confidence to do a video? No, you don't. But I do. But doing a video takes a lot of time and a lot of energy. It's not a trivial task. So whenever I have to stop what I'm doing to send a video message to you all, it takes away from what I'm doing. And that's why I'm saying you have to pay for it. You have to pay for it. It's not free. So I'm telling you, the fact that you send these 2 records to me after you saw the videos, it's an indication that you don't respond to niceness. You don't respond to politeness. You don't respond to just regular communications. I have to go and I have to do what I did before to get the cases current. I have to tell you about all the people who died and who's going to die next, and that possibly you will be the next one. I am going to die, I know that, but I will not die until I finish this business. I won't die until this business is finished. I can assure you that. And I won't die after this business is finished either, because I'm going to die in battle, in the fight, a Luta Continua. Don't matter what you think of me. I know you love me. I know you want to leave your husbands for me, but I'm Islamic. I can have 5 wives, but I'm okay with 1, because 1 is enough. 1 is too much goddamn trouble, much as for 5. So keep your love for yourself. Keep your love for yourself. Keep your desires to yourself. And just fear me and take care of my business and get me out of your court. Give me my titles to my property. Understand the facts in my case. And don't play games. Don't send me fake emails. Don't try to make me lose my hearing, miss my hearings anymore. Because if that happens, somebody's going to die. Somebody's going to die. I'm going to tell it to you. I've been restraining myself to tell you that. But if somebody makes me miss another hearing by trickery, that person is going to die. Yes, I said it. And it's not a threat, but it's a promise from God, and it's a promise from the voodoo master, and it's a promise of the witch doctor. You trick me one more time and you are finished. And I'm not going to thank you for sending these documents, because that is your job. And if you're not going to do your job, you need to get out of there, because there are too many people in Dominica who needs work and a steady salary. As always, I am your best friend. I know you don't think I'm your best friend, but I don't have any grudges against anybody. Regardless of what you all do to me, my life has always been a life of struggle, a life of fight until victory, and I have never lost a battle yet. I've always been victorious, and I'm going to be victorious here, and I'm going to celebrate that victory, and I'm going to walk on the grave of Fenty LaRock. I'm going to walk on his fucking grave, and I'm going to pee on it with my pretty penis. Yes, I have a pretty penis. I want you to know that. Peter the Petty Penis. I have a Teta Toli. A Teta Toli. Yeah, look, I'm not here to talk serious to you and make you upset. We have to have a little lightheartedness. Yeah, I have a Toli. When I was a little boy, I put a Teta on it and I let the Teta go in the Massac River. And ever since, my Toli got large and big and pretty. And when the girls see, they say, "Ooh, Peter, you got a pretty Toli." And their eyes open up like this. They're like, ah! Listen, I know you don't have no fun at work, until you get a message from me and you're happy and you laugh. And those of you who work there and who want to say something to the register and say something to your boss and he can't say it, and you say, Mr. Lander is going to tell them for me. Thank you for your support. Thank you for telling me what's going on. And they don't know that you're working for me because I have spies right in your office, Miss Etienne. I have spies right in your office, Miss Theobalds. Everybody loves the Voodoo Master as much as they fear him. God bless you. I bless you. And may the Spirit and the peace of Christ Jesus the Nazarene, the Prince of Peace, who said unto the Romans, my peace I give unto you. My teacher taught me. He said, Peter, can you imagine what it was like in the Roman times? It was so brutal because war was one on one. When someone just came up and cut your throat, and I've been watching the Vikings and how they fought back then, and I've been watching the Roman Empire and how they fought back. Today we just fire a missile. We fire a Shahed 136 drone. We fire ballistic missiles, and we never see exactly what happens to the devastation caused by these weapons. But back then, war was man on man, and you had to stab them and hash them with your hatchet, cut them with your swords. It was very personal and very bloody. And it was the time of Jesus. Jesus was there with the Romans, and Jesus saw how brutal and violent it was. And Jesus said unto the Romans, my peace I give unto you. And so today I want to give you that peace, the peace of Jesus. Do not be offended by the fact that I told you I have a pretty penis, because everything in life is about sex. Go ask Roosevelt Skerritt. Everything is about sex. Go ask Reginald Austri. Go ask Rayburn Blackmore. If you go to the Bible and you go to the Quran, it is all about sex. Adam and Eve. My daughter came to me when she was little. She said, Daddy, everybody at school tell me Adam and Eve were the first people and they created everybody. And she said, Daddy, does that mean brothers and sisters can, I said, what do you mean, Marissa? Tell me. She said, I said, look, God damn it, tell me. She said, well, can brothers and sisters have sex? I said, Marissa, if you believe in Adam and Eve, then yes, brothers and sisters can have sex. This was the first question I asked when they told me about Adam and Eve being the first two people in the world. The Bible condones incest. Everything in the Bible is about sex and sodomy and Sodom and Gomorrah and incest and men killing people to get their wives and King David killing somebody to get his wife. So don't come and be upset because I told you I have a pretty penis, because I do. It's my stock in trade besides my mouth. One time I was in Dominica and we were leaving. I said to the young lady who came to pick me, I said, hey, let me get a machete or cutlass. She said, Peter, you don't need that. You've got your tongue and you've got your mouth. You can speak. I know you can defend us. Let's go. And that's why you fear me. That's why when I speak to you in the video message, you understand where I'm coming from. Because in the email you cannot see me, but when you see me here, first you love me because you know I'm handsome and I'm old and I'm sexy. Old and sexy. I have a beautiful smile. And those lovely lips. So what I want to say to you, thank you for look, I'm still going to thank you because at the end of the day, I'm thankful that you sent out the reports. Even though I had to beat you over the head to get you to do it, I wanted to thank you. Then I want you to go and look for Dr. Elwin and get her cake next Christmas. Maybe she might even make some for you now and mail it to you. Her cake is very moist. It's a nice amount of alcohol. I can get drunk just eating it. but I can't eat too much of it. So I have to eat a little piece. When you have a little piece left, and I might be tempted to ask her and to commission a private cake before Christmas for us. Anyway, I want everybody to know, from Mrs. Ettiene to Mrs. Theobalds, to the justices of the appellate court, to the staff, rank and file of the registry, and to Mr. Peters in particular, that I harbor no ill will and no hatred towards any of you. That what we have here and what we had was a failure to communicate. But so long as we get back on track and we begin to communicate, and so long as we understand that what we have before us have to be decided on the matters of truth and the matters of facts, and that you know that the facts are in my favor, so long as you do not try to trick the court the way that Mr. Bruni did while he was alive, so long as you do not try to trick me the way Mr. Commodore did while he was alive, then there's nothing for you to fear. If you fear death, if you fear going to meet Jesus, you do not have to fear and you do not have to be afraid. I will not pray that that should come upon you. But if on the other hand, that you continue to be intransigent and to continue to engage in practices that run contrary to my interests and to our interests, then certainly the will of God will be imposed upon you, and you will meet judgment as judgment will be decreed upon you. Because at the end of the day, each one of us is an individual, and we are the ones who makes the decisions. There is no mumbo-jumbo God from heaven. When we go before the judge is another human being. The jury are made up of human beings, and the rules and the procedures are written by human beings and interpreted by human beings and applied by human beings. And therefore, I face other human beings. And I want those human beings to understand that I am not in fear of you. And if you are going to trick me again, that you will pay a price. That much I can promise you. Though if you don't do anything wrong, that price will not fall upon you. But if you do something wrong, yes, you will pay a price. And I make no apologies for that. God bless you. Jesus Christ, peace be with you. And the blessings of Francois Macandal, from whom we derive our authority and our movement, always. And as we always say, a luta continua, the fight continues, the struggle continues until victory. Victory we are assured of because our ancestors promised us victory, and the most recent minted ancestor and ancestors have promised us that we'll be victorious. A luta continua. A luta continua. E victoria.
I don't want peace. I want problems always.